And the ACC postseason is underway. A doubleheader in the Ally ACC Women's Soccer Championship to start things off. Third-seeded Duke in all blue, and sixth-seeded Louisville, which only accumulated one fewer point than the Blue Devils, in all white to start things off. And Patty, despite that 1 point difference in the standings, Duke is favored in this one. And you hear, okay, Duke offense versus Louisville defense. Louisville may be sitting deep. That's not the way the plan is drawn up for Karen Ferguson days in the Cardinals.
Well, no doubt. Both of these teams like to press, and they want to get deep in the opponent's half. And by the way, Louisville has a very dynamic attack, too. We've talked about their defensive unit because it has been statistically the best in the conference. But this is a team that can score goals, and so they do it in a different way than does Duke. But watch for the Cardinals to try to do this, to try to press that back line of Duke, see if they can pick up some of those turnovers in the attacking half and create chances.
You can see umbrellas in the stands. They're dealing with a slick evening as we get this one underway. Temperature in the mid-50s. Hadley Snyder out of the back for Louisville. Too tall for everybody, and it will run out for a goal kick.
And you're going to see a lot of that today, Jonathan, from Louisville, in that Duke likes to have that high line in the back. So this is going to be a condensed midfield. And so between Hadley Snyder on that left side center back and Carson Cherry on the right side at center back, they're going to look to hit those curlers in behind Duke to try to stretch the Blue Devils and see if they can open up space in behind.
Duke trying to do likewise the other way, and Louisville gets it back to Aaron Floyd, senior from Wilton, Connecticut. 5 seniors in the Louisville lineup. 4 of them at the back. Elle Piper, number 8 for Duke on the right-hand side. She spent much of the year playing on the left, but getting Jocelyn Travers in on the left has switched Piper to the near side. And again, they switched from a back 3 to a back 4 partway through the ACC schedule. And Kieran Hall feels like that led to this 6-game unbeaten run.
That is so interesting. In talking to Kieran Hall this week, he told us part of that switch from 3 to 4 in the back was actually to get more attacking players on the field, see if he can utilize more talent. And so, as you see, a good ball in behind here.
Avery Oder thought she was onside, but was behind the last defender when the ball was played. It'll be a free kick for Louisville.
Well, it's just a quick turnover, but you can see, I'm not so sure about that one.
Yeah.
That's very close with that left back, Lizzie Sexton. But Duke's going to try to play quick as well. The high line is going to be on both sides, and this is going to be a very, very condensed middle third. And so both teams can try to utilize that speed in behind, see if you can get some chances on frame.
Talk about congested middle. The ACC standings were congested as well. 9 teams were battling for the last 4 spots behind Stanford and Notre Dame heading into the final couple of games. And Thursday night, everybody who was in position managed to win and hold that position. Duke emerged with 21 points and in 3rd place. Florida State, Virginia, and Louisville all tied for 4th. And via tiebreakers, Florida State got to host. Virginia is in Tallahassee, and Louisville was sent here. They all finished 2 points ahead of North Carolina, the perennial dominant team in the ACC for so many years. But of course, Florida State has had the best track record in ACC tournaments recently.
Well, now we've seen twice Avery Oder just pushing that back line, asking questions, just a step offside there. But you can see what Duke is trying to do right from the get-go here. They're going to try to stretch Louisville and try to use the pace of Oder and Oliara on the wings to get in behind that back line and create chances from wide areas.
Just underway, 5th minute. ACC women's soccer doubleheader tonight. The winners will advance to semifinals on Thursday in Cary, North Carolina. Not a long drive from here in Durham. He's Patty Foss. I'm Jonathan Yardley. See Betsy Huckabee trying to line up a shot there and was quickly closed down, and Louisville will collect at the back. Caroline Dysart, the Duke goalkeeper, out to get that one. Patty, Florida State, the number 4 seed, but they have won 5 straight ACC tournaments. Do you have a favorite coming in out of those top teams?
I mean, I'm not going to bet against Florida State, although Stanford has to be the favorite in going unbeaten in the ACC, running the gauntlet. As you see another wide area here.
That's blocked by Carson Sherry, and she did manage to save the corner kick. It's out for a throw-in.
You know, the beautiful thing about the ACC championship here is all 6 teams, not only could they take the title here, but they could take the title in the big dance as well.
Yeah, I phrased that poorly. Patty's a Virginia alum, so we know he has a favorite, but it's a different meaning of the word. Lizzie Sexton out of the back, long diagonal. This is what Louisville was hoping for. Emerson Jennings closed down there. Clemson put Duke under a lot of pressure Thursday night, took the lead in that one. And it was balls like that, diagonal balls dropped behind the back line. That shot ends up chipped off the boot of Jennings and out for a goal kick.
This is a really promising start here from Louisville in that they want to push Duke deep, and they've had a lot of success here in possession in this opening 7 minutes. Duke, a team that loves to play with the ball at their feet. That Louisville press doing its job. Now, Louisville, again, a ball over the top. This one is going to get recycled, and it's patience on the Cardinals side in the interplay here in wide areas. You see just the amount of patience. That's the veteran presence of this Louisville team. They are not spooked by the environment. They want to play their game, and they want to take it to Duke. They've done a good job of that here through 7.5.
A.G. Gibson, Betsy Huckabee, their central midfield tandem just about every game this year, exchanging passes there. That one went awry, though. 8th minute, we asked both coaches what a game on their terms would look like, and so far this much more matches Louisville's profile. Dangerous moment here, though. Mia Oliaro. Yeah, there's the open player. Avery Oder. Got the shot off, and no rebound given up by Erin Floyd on her first save of the night.
And just as we talk about Louisville and how good they've been in the midfield, this is a great interplay from Duke in working it across the midfield, and Devin Lynch with a good flick in the end. Avery Oder has been so dynamic here in the opening minutes. You can tell that the freshman wants to get the ball at her feet, and she wants to run at that Louisville back line.
The touch by Lynch was pretty. You point that out totally correctly. Amelia Swinarski, 11 for Louisville on the near side, has their most attacking numbers. Although, again, weaker non-conference schedule at times. 9 goals, 10 assists overall. Swinarski, 3 goals, no assists in ACC play. That long switch dealt with by Jocelyn Travers for Duke. This is Lynch. Long ball runs all the way to Erin Floyd. A.G. Gibson, 24 in white for Louisville, and that pass was just under the boot of Liza Sudam. Here is Sudam, transfer from Monmouth, came in January. That was a big acquisition through the portal for Louisville. Cleared away by Dea King, and it'll be a Cardinals throw-in on the right side. We showed you Louisville 3 previous ACC tournament appearances since joining the conference in 2014. Those were 2018, 2019, and 2020. And usually for offense, Patty, they were getting the ball to Amina Ekic and saying, do something awesome. And this group spreads it around a little better.
Well, they do. There's certainly a deeper squad, and when you look really at the front 6 of Louisville and the 2 forwards and the 4 across midfield, each of them is dynamic. They're all technical, and they're really good in possession and knocking the ball around and pivoting the game side to side. You note Sudan. She was the CAA midfielder of the year just a year ago. She loves to drop a little deeper, and that's what you're seeing here to start.
Grace Maddox, the sophomore right back, first-year starter to throw in for Louisville. State champion in Georgia, not only in soccer, well, state champion in soccer, state finalist in flag football. Where she was apparently a defensive back mainstay. Duke on it here, long switch. Finds Mia Oliaro. One of those wearing the captain's armband for Duke. Oliaro from Chapel Hill sends in the cross. Really dangerous spot in the opening goal. Devin Lynch has Duke in front to kick off the postseason.
Well, this is where Duke is at their best. It's dropped deep to L. Piper. It's a dynamic play here, just to drive into midfield and then spray it back wide. Oliaro does one thing well, and she whips this one in. It's a long-range cross, a great run from Devin Lynch, and an even better first-time finish. Absolutely no chance from Aaron Floyd, and a tremendous opening team goal from the Duke Blue Devils.
Getting Devin Lynch closer to goal, one of the reasons Duke changed formations. And she comes up with the finish to Oliaro's delivery here. Fifth goal of the season for Lynch. And for Oliaro, assist number 10 on the season after she led the ACC with 13 last year.
That is such a quality ball in there from Oliaro, from long range, and just pinpoint accuracy to put it on a platter for the on-rushing Devin Lynch. But, you know, if you're Louisville, you started the game really well the opening 10 minutes. You can't get flustered now because this will be a back-and-forth game, and you got to think there's going to be a ton of goals. So the Cardinals, a veteran team, can they settle in and come right back at the Blue Devils?
Swinarski on the move. Big switch looking for Jennings. Falls to Amelia Swinarski, wants to get to that left. And Duke knew the tendency. You could see Piper playing that way. Sexton's diagonal too far for Jennings, but it was a pass, a long diagonal. This one on the money at the other end that has this game 1-0.
Well, and if you give Mia Oliaro this much time in wide areas, doesn't matter how deep she is, she's going to beat you. And that is just a pinpoint, perfect, whipped cross in to find the on-rushing Lynch. Mia Oliaro has been so dynamic in her setup play, not only this year, but last year. You note the assist she had just a year ago. She's been even better here in 2025, and back-to-back seasons with double-digit assists for a reason.
Ella Stevens, really good company to keep for Mia Oliaro in the Duke record books. But she'll be most satisfied with the 1-0 advantage on the scoreboard. Floyd going long, looking for the run of Jennings. One ball in behind. Here's Emerson Jennings. Off the crossbar and out. One ball over the top, almost tied things up.
Well, and this is where Duke can be a little bit at sixes and sevens in that the one ball over top. If you're going to play that high line, you got to watch for this ball because it's a tremendous pass from the goalkeeper, Aaron Floyd, and Emerson Jennings has the pace. This is a quality strike, just rising the whole way, and ultimately is stopped by the bar. But Louisville will try to do this time and again because of Jennings' pace. And so if you're Duke and you're going to play that high line, you have to be heads up as to where Jennings is at all times.
Yeah, y'all, that was not an accident. Aaron Floyd 100% picked out where she was putting that and who she was targeting. Louisville forcing a couple turnovers here. Swinarski, see how quickly Duke surrounds her, able to move it. But that Duke press almost forced a dangerous turnover of its own. Now they do. Instead, Louisville going forward. Dea King out in space, and it's out for a corner kick. Players still down for Louisville as well, though. It's Jennings. This is what we expected. Jennings running at the freshman on the Duke backline.
Well, and both Jennings and Dea King have so much pace. This is a really well-timed challenge from Dea King not to allow Jennings in behind once again, and Jennings certainly feels the brunt of that one.
Jennings, senior from Noblesville, Indiana. Down here in the 16th minute of the opening round of the Ally ACC Women's Soccer Championship, just part of all sorts of fall sports championship coming your way this week on the ACC Network. ACC field hockey quarterfinals start 10 a.m. Eastern Tuesday and continue most of the day. And then the women's soccer semifinals coming up Thursday, coverage starting at 5:30 on ESPN. And the men's soccer quarterfinals next Sunday. We'll have the women's final at noon on ESPNU, the men's soccer quarterfinals at 2, 4, 6, and 8 on the ACC Network. So busy week of coverage here. Louisville and Duke starting things off, and so much promising in this start for Louisville, Patty, and yet they're behind 16 minutes in.
Well, they are, and you can see the veterans coming together and discussing what's going right, maybe what they can do better. This is a concerning moment if you're Karen Ferguson Days, because Emerson Jennings is likely the most dynamic athlete on that attack for Louisville, and we've already seen she has the pace to get in behind, but Louisville is a really good start. I mean, this is 15 minutes that Ferguson Days has to be pleased with the exception of one moment. They've had a lot of the ball. They've pushed Duke deep. They've gotten in behind. They've had a good chance on frame, only be denied by the crossbar. So 75 minutes to play. It's not at the time to panic if you're Louisville, but certainly they'd like to see Emerson Jennings up on her feet and getting going.
Now, you know a Louisville team is going to be organized and defensively sound. That is what we have seen every year. But, Patty, this year, the offensive numbers have exploded and continued to be enough to produce a winning record in the ACC as well.
Well, they have, and that's due to how dynamic they are attacking-wise. They can beat you in a lot of different ways. They can beat you through the midfield in possession and combination play in and around the box. They can beat you over the top. And even in the games that they haven't won in the ACC, they've been in every game, and they've pushed a lot of these teams to the brink. So this is a team that can make a deep run, not only here in the ACC tournament, but potentially in the NCAAs as well.
Really concerning to see Emerson Jennings wincing the way she is. 5 goals, 4 assists for the senior. And as you noted, Patty, a speed threat very difficult to replace. Taylor Morris will draw the honor of replacing her for the moment. Freshman from Louisville, who is supposed to come in next year. She's a year early. She and her twin sister, Trista, both reclassifying over the summer. Trista wears 68, Taylor wears 86. Not confusing at all. And it is Taylor on the field much earlier than Louisville had planned and hoped, lining up for the game's first corner kick. Swinarski to deliver. Devin Lynch headed away. A.G. Gibson put Swinarski on her right foot. Got it away anyway, but couldn't get it past Daya King. King, one of those freshmen, number 3 for Duke. Also one of 6 in the starting lineup from California. You think of Duke drawing from a lot of places, but they have really tapped into California for their talent in recent years. As the Louisville press fouls Karina Laguerre, free kick for Duke. Risky pass and under pressure. Jocelyn Travers got into a slide. It's great slide tackling weather, that's for sure, to win this for Duke. Kat Rader, that's actually one of the first times we've called her name, number 2 for Duke, usually one of their best weapons. Her pass was broken up. And you can see Louisville, even with Emerson Jennings out, has the same game plan. Attack with speed. Avery Oder, one of the Duke freshmen, came back to win that. Duke 11-0-1 this year when they score first. The one tie was in a home game here against Alabama where they did not put the game away and allowed a tying goal in the final minute. And those late goals, giving up goals in the second half, was a concern of Kieran Hall's, so Duke is certainly going to want to put this one to bed. '18th minute, Duke in front on a Devin Lynch goal from a Mia Oliaro dime dropped from really the right sideline. Sexton ahead for Swinarski. And that was Cameron Roller coming out, number 7, the center back for Duke. It'll be a Louisville throw. Swinarski ducked through 2, but didn't really have an angle to goal. Carson Cherry, how about the weight on that pass to find Maddox? Sent it high and wide.
Just make sure you're dropping and seeing him.
It's such an interesting start. I mean, Patty, just on paper, you're looking around the country, you're looking at results, and you see Duke and Louisville here. You would think Duke would be on the front foot, and even though they have the lead, this game has been played more on this left side of the field.
Well, and the Louisville press really has made Duke uncomfortable. Duke is at their best when they're in possession. They just really haven't had the ball. They haven't gotten into the feet of players like Karina Laguerre, Devin Lynch, Kat Rader. We haven't called their names in midfield. So if you're Kieran Hall and the Blue Devil staff, can you start to get a little bit more of the ball and build through the lines? Get the ball through midfield and go at Louisville a bit. You got to give a lot of credit to the Cardinals because what they're doing on the defensive side and that press is giving Duke fits.
Here is Laguerre, 16 in blue. Kieran Hall thinks she can start in the NWSL next year. Said, I've never rated her below 7.5 out of 10 for a game or a training session. She's so consistent. And a player down for Duke. It's Jocelyn Travers. We didn't see what caused the pain she's in right now. Travers from Santa Cruz, California, and the Bay Area Surf Youth Program out there, which has contributed a number of players to this squad. Kieran Hall looking on. Seventh year with the women's program. And he has been a part of their NCAA tournament runs the last several years. This is where they are this season. Number 11 in the RPI coming into this tournament, Patty. Can they get one of those 8 hosting spots? That's the big question.
Well, that is a big question, because if you can get a top 8 seed in the NCAA tournament, you'll host for the first 3 rounds at least. And so this game with massive implications, not only obviously with the ACC tournament, but moving forward to the NCAA. With the Louisville at number 13, the RPI, this would be a huge resume boosting win if Duke can see it out. Certainly a lot of time, but Kieran Hall here in his first season has his team really on firing all cylinders here at the right time of the year, and they know who they are and they know how they're going to score goals, and we've already seen that here in the opening minutes.
Hall taking over for Robbie Church, so many years in charge of building this program. And of course they have great continuity with the legendary Carla Overbeck on the staff as well. Hannah Gardner, Evan Gaffney, the other assistants for Duke this year. And Travers going to stay in the game. '21st minute as the rain continues to fall in Durham. Duke leads Louisville 1-0. Devin Lynch the goal in the 12th minute that separates the teams right now. But again, Louisville just 1 point behind Duke in the ACC standings after the 10-game regular season. This is Travers, who was just shaken up. Dances away from one. This is Sudan, the transfer from Monmouth, trying to find Betsy Huckabee, but with the opposing number 2, Kat Rader, right on her, wasn't much she could do. That's Laguerre turning out of a tight spot. Minestrella trying to stay onside. Oliaro as well. Oliaro making the run. Instead it goes out wide. And the offside flag up again on, of course, Avery Oder.
It's a better move there from Duke, though. We haven't seen a ton of this in the interplay through midfield to pivot the game and go to the next side. Again, Oder has been asking questions all evening long and pushing forward. We've seen her now 3 times offside for a reason. If she can get that timing right, it seems like Duke is going to spring her in behind.
Carson Sherry, 22 in white, the leader of the Louisville defense, over dealing with that one. It'll be a Duke throw-in. Three from Kentucky, 2 from Indiana, 2 from Ohio in the starting lineup for Louisville. And then we told you Morris, who came into the game, another one from Louisville. That chance charged down by Cherry. Piper trying to slip one through for Duke. It's broken up, but the Blue Devils win it back. Now, a reminder, the college basketball season tips off tomorrow, and we have you covered with the doubleheader right here on the ACC network and in the all-new ESPN app. Number 25, North Carolina, with the freshman phenom Caleb Wilson, hosts Central Arkansas at 7 Eastern, and then we'll follow that up, Ryan Conwell and number 11, Louisville, hosting South Carolina State. The Nothing But Net crew will have highlights and analysis following those games at 11 Eastern. What a day. Tipping off college basketball tomorrow. We have serious live action on the ACC network just about every day this week. When you factor in the field hockey and soccer, the men's tournament will get underway on the app on Wednesday. On the men's side, all 15 teams make the postseason tournament. Here, Patty, it's just the top 6 out of 17. It really makes qualifying for the ACC tournament harder than qualifying for the NCAAs for these teams. Are you surprised that we've seen a Louisville get here, that we've seen some other surprise names in the few years that it's been just down to 6 teams?
Well, it's a little bit surprising because I don't think there were a lot of folks that would have picked Louisville in the top 6, but we seemingly see that year in and year out. You're likely going to see 10 ACC teams in the NCAA tournament, and so someone's got to get left out. But it's not surprising to see Louisville in it after you watch this opening 25 minutes because they've really been the better team. They're a little bit hard done to go down 1-0, but they look very comfortable on the ball in going forward and certainly giving Duke a lot of pressure. You get the sense that it's only a matter of time before they'll find a chance on frame and perhaps equalize.
I want to come back to that. Who's your 10th? Do you have Cal getting in?
We can have the discussion, certainly. I mean, the last team in last year in the NCAA tournament was at 53 in the RPI. So I think Cal's certainly going to have a case.
All right. I like it. That ball's kept in. Louisville waiting for numbers. They don't have a lot of targets in the box, and it was too high in the end for Geigley. A.G. Gibson, 24 in white. Karen Ferguson-Day says, I can't take her off the field. She looks tiny, but don't underestimate how athletic she is. She plays center mid. You may not notice a lot of what she does, but, oh, that's a great ball. Looking for Sudam. She just couldn't bring it down at the edge of the 18. Louisville hasn't had a shot since Emerson Jennings came out of the game in the 16th minute due to injury. Sexton, the left back. This is Morris, the freshman who came in for Jennings, gets it back to Grace Maddox. Little triangle work here. Now Carson Sherry.
Entering the game for
28th minute, and our first sub not related to injury, with Julia Sonicheva checking in for Mia Oliaro out wide. Oliaro set up the goal with that tremendous delivery in the 12th minute. Sonicheva, another one from California, 2 goals, 5 assists on the year, and Kieran Hall said she's really been pushing for more minutes. That's why. Goal or an assist in 5 out of last 7, that'll get you on the field. We had first of two tonight in the opening round of the Ally ACC Women's Soccer Championship. First place Stanford, second place Notre Dame. Notre Dame unbeaten until the final night of the regular season when they lost at Pitt. They have byes. They're watching from home. They're headed to Cary, North Carolina for Thursday's semifinals. Two teams will join them, the winner of this game and the winner of Florida State, Virginia, to follow us. So the winner of this game gets Notre Dame. Patty, maybe without Izzy Engel. Don't know her status. Whereas the winner of the second game will get Stanford on Thursday. Space for Morris here. Carries into the box before delivering. Daya King able to get it away. Still Louisville, though. Diagonal ball in the late run from Sudan made it dangerous, but it is scooped up by Dysart in net.
Well, Louisville just having their way in wide areas right now, whether it's on the right side or this left side. It's a good first-time ball in from Lizzie Sexton with that right foot curling one in behind. Can't quite find Sudan, but again, whether it be on the right or on the left, Louisville has looked very dynamic in pivoting the game side to side and creating those half chances with service into the box.
It feels like they're at their best in terms of creating full, really good chances, though, from transition. Can Duke sit deeper against them and limit them to half chances this way?
Well, they can. I'm not sure that they will, though, because Duke doesn't usually play that way. They like the high line, and we've seen that in the first half hour here. It's something to watch, because without Emerson Jennings, there is a lack of really world-class speed on that front line for Louisville. So if she can come back into the game, you would think that the Cardinals will have some more success in getting in behind. If she's not going to play, though, you might see more of this from Duke in dropping a little bit deeper and making Louisville play through the lines and beat them through possession.
Louisville with what they call their second wave of players. As that one runs out of play, so you get Nicole Jadoin, Karina Pete, Brooklyn Lee, Fina Davey all into the game here for the final 15 minutes of the first half. There's Brooklyn Lee, sophomore defender, who scored against SMU on Thursday. It was 0-0 at halftime, and Louisville knew the pressure was on to win that game to get in, and they managed to put up 3 down the stretch to make sure of things. Neat combination play. Rader on the near side is number 2 for Duke, and she wins the foul. It'll be a free kick. This is Sonacheva. Cross was deflected. Falls right to Rader, got to her right foot and drilled it, but the shot couldn't make it through all that traffic. Still Duke putting the pressure on, though. Cherry and Snyder, the center backs, breathe a sigh of relief as that one heads out for a corner.
Well, Duke putting a ton of pressure on that Louisville back line. Again, it's this right side, this time from Julia Sonacheva. That's a whipped-in ball in a really dangerous spot. Louisville ultimately deals with it, but a corner kick coming and some really good play out wide from Duke, the same place we saw that first goal.
First corner of the game for Duke, and Travers will take it. Just missed the back post, but not by much. Off the near post headed flick.
That's a good ball into that near post, and Karina Laguerre does well just to take a couple steps back and try to flick that one to the far post. A really tough level of difficulty there, and she does well. Ultimately can't quite find that far post, though.
That one knocked long. Here is Dysart. Did not begin the year as the out-and-out starter, but very quickly established herself as the go-to player. Turned that one over, though. Jadoin with her left foot hit it right at Dysart. First Louisville shot since the 14th minute. Off the boot, actually, of Morris.
No, it's a misplay here from Dysart, straight to the feet there of Morris. Morris does well just to cut in on that left foot. Puts one right at Dysart, but a good chance there and an unnecessary mistake from Caroline Dysart.
Raiders diagonal ball, too far for the run of Lauren Martino, also in for Duke wearing number 9. 10 minutes to play in the first half. Duke leads on Devin Lynch's goal in the 12th minute and has had the scoring advantage in this game, has had the shot advantage, but again, the field has spent a lot of time flipped toward the north, right to left in Louisville's favor, and they hope to create a turnover here and get a scoring chance from it. You can hear some oohs for that pass. Sonicheva wants it on the near side. Shot by Minestrello, it didn't get through. Mia Minestrello wearing 13. Very dangerous ball all the way through and just turned wide at the very end by Lizzie Sexton.
Well, each and every time we've seen Duke be dangerous down that right-hand side. This time, Mia Minestrello just pulls out wide and whips one across the 6-yard box. Avery Oder a step late, but Duke continues to show where they're dynamic in this attack and getting the ball side to side and putting dangerous service into the box.
So last action of the half for Minestrello. Farrah Walters, second-year transfer from Santa Clara, steps in here for the final portion of the first half. Neither of these teams has won this year when trailing at the half. We'll see if Duke can hold this lead into the break. Backward to the goalkeeper, Aaron Floyd for Louisville. Second ball won by the Cardinals. Ahead looking for Fina Davey into the game. She's going to get there. Trying to cut it back for Karina Pete, and it's out for a throw. Patty, these long balls are getting them space down the wings. How can they get more numbers in the box to support that?
Well, I think they have to find the second forward. We've seen a lot of those long balls towards the wide midfielders. And in the way that Louisville likes to play, one of those forwards usually drops into midfield. That's kind of a false 9. So when the ball goes in behind, can they get the both forwards in support in and around the box and see if they can find a chance on frame?
Another Louisville throw in the corner. Sexton goes quickly for Morris. Nicole Jadoin trying to sneak through there, comes out to Huckabee. You can hear Duke trying to organize defensively, figure out when to step their line and leave Louisville players offside. This is Hadley Snyder from the back. That time the offside flag goes up against Louisville. It'll be a free kick for Duke. Now a reminder, the all-new ACC PM runs Monday through Thursday from 6 to 7 Eastern, 2 hours on Friday from 5 to 7 Eastern, focused on football, hosted by Kelsey Riggs-Cuff, right here on ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. space right there. There's the diagonal, and Travers, alerted to it, was able to cut it off. Duke's plenty aware of it, Patty, because that's exactly what they had to deal with Clemson. But it's been a danger spot for Louisville all game. What can Duke do here? Sonich-Sheva running against Brooklyn Lee. Lee hard into the tackle there, out for a throw. Sophomore from Tacoma, Washington. And one of the few times Duke's been able to set up camp in the Louisville half. This is Travers, the left back. Looks like that one ran out, and it did. Throw incoming for the Cardinals. Here's Nicole Jadoin for Louisville, waiting for support. Taylor Morris trying to get it forward. She had the run of Sexton, but just not enough room to keep it on the field of play. Anything surprise you in the way this first half has played out, Patty?
Well, I'm a bit surprised at how much success Louisville has had with that high press and not allowing Duke to play through possession. I mean, this Duke midfield is one of, if not the best in the country, and they really haven't touched the ball. Now, they found a goal, and they found some chances in wide areas, but Louisville has played a lot of this game in the Duke half, and they've had a lot of success through that press. Certainly, they need a little bit more quality in that final third to get some clear-cut chances on goal. But I am surprised at the lack of possession on the Duke side.
If you're Kieran Hall, how do you address that at halftime? You're like, hey, Karina, Devin, Kat, they're really good on the ball. Find them. You know, what other adjustments can they make?
Yeah, probably. To be honest, I mean, you want Laguerre in those pockets of space, and to be fair, she has found some good pockets, but that linkage between Laguerre, Lynch, and Rader just really hasn't been there. Now, because it's a high press from Louisville, you may have to stray from the game plan of playing these 10, 15-yard balls on the ground and trying to play tiki-taka soccer in your own half. You might have to go long once in a while just to stretch the Louisville line and to find a bit more space so that you can have those pockets to find your midfield in the end.
Louisville getting forward here. Sliding tackle. It was Travers again to break up Lizzie Sexton's charge forward. Two minutes to play in the first half. Duke with the lead, but Louisville threatening. Tremendous run. Driven wide at the near post. Great effort from Louisville here late with Fina Davey ripping one wide.
Well, it's really good patience here from Louisville. The slip in behind. Davey does really well just to get her body right. She doesn't need a first touch because she sees this ball through that Duke back line. Ultimately, a good idea to hit this first time. A tough angle and can't put it on frame. But that's really good patience from the Cardinals in picking their spot and trying to slip one through.
Davey, a sophomore from Ohio, part of that second wave of attackers who came in. Taylor Morris into the penalty area. Freshman against freshman, and Dea King stood her up with the body positioning and played it out for a throw.
It's good individual defending here from Dea King in that she knows that Taylor Morris likes to cut it on the left. She's honest, though, and keeps her to that right, ultimately seeing that one out.
Boy, the diagonal off-ball run has been taught in Louisville training over and over and over this season, you can tell.
Well, and that's where the pockets of space have been as well. So you get the sense that it is going to work one of these times, and they are going to get in behind. We've already seen it through that chance Jennings had just a few minutes into the game. But Louisville, again, has a good game plan. They're executing well. They just haven't found that final quality to put the ball in the back of the net.
There was the long diagonal again. That was mishit by Gibson, and Dysart will wisely waste a little time and get to the half here. We'll check in with Tallahassee on Florida State and Virginia. Get you ready for that one as part of our halftime show. We'll show you the Duke goal that has them in front. Through 45 minutes in the opening half, Duke won, Louisville nothing. But Patty, the score doesn't really tell the whole story of that first half.
Well, it doesn't. Louisville was very quality. They just haven't found a goal. On the other side,
1 week away from the championship game in the conference tournament. Both these teams have their sights set on it as we get underway. Duke with the lead, but under pressure at times in that first half, trying to advance to play Notre Dame in Thursday's semifinals. Awkward fall there. It's a wet, slick night, and everybody wants to check on Devin Lynch.
It just looked like the ball got caught under the feet of Devin Lynch here, and just note that slickness and just slips there. And, oh, that won't feel too good. Looks like Devin Lynch, though, popped right back up and is ready to go. She was such an integral piece of this team, not only tonight, but throughout the fall. Not the goal being part of it, but she's looked dynamic in the attack with some real creativity in and around the box.
Brooklyn Lee stays in to start the second half for Louisville at left back. And she'll have a throw in on that far side. All kinds of space for Sexton here. Cross blocked away by Jocelyn Travers. For Duke, Sonacheva stays on, Oliaro stays off. The only change from the starting lineup to begin the second half.
But I like this change from Karen Ferguson days to get Lizzie Sexton over here to the right side. See if you can overload that right side. Somewhere where they were having a lot of success in the first half was Louisville. If you can add Sexton to the attack alongside Emerson Jennings, put extra numbers, overload the side, see if you can create some more chances down this near side.
Yeah, that was last touched by Duke despite the pressure there, as you see Jennings. And these teams did not play during the regular season. Duke finished 1 point ahead of Louisville in the standings. Lynch, the veteran, and A.G. Gibson, the sophomore, battling, and Gibson wins a free kick for Louisville. Take the restart quickly for Sexton. He got the shot off. Similar play to the Duke goal. And this one too close to Caroline Dysart off the boot of Swinarski.
Well, we know Lizzie Sexton now on the right side loves that right-footed in-swinger. It's a tremendous ball, as you note, similar to the Duke goal. Long-range cross in behind, finding Swinarski. Ultimately, can't put pace on that ball, but that's a dynamic play that we did not see in the first half in connecting with a cross finally for Louisville.
It seems like, oh, that ball's in the air for such a long time. Where's the goalkeeper? But it's placed so well, both Oliaro's on the goal and that delivery. The goalkeeper can't get out there in time. Emerson Jennings making a run. Did she stay on side? Yes, is the decision. Jennings drives it low and put it past the far post, but the danger woman is still there for Louisville.
Well, now Jennings lining up in a much more advanced position. She runs along the back line laterally of the Duke Blue Devils, gets in behind. Ultimately, the setup touch pushes her a little bit wide, but with the insertion of Lizzie Sexton at right back now, Emerson Jennings in a much more attacking position, playing along that back line of Duke, clearly trying to get the ball in behind there. It springs the speedy winger in behind for a chance.
Sudam applying pressure as Daya King plays it upfield. One right back by Louisville, though. Moment of indecision. Now Jennings. Pretzeled one defender. Dysart knocked it away, and the rebound is skied over the top from Gibson. Louisville coming out hot in the second half.
Well, it's a decisive move right here from Emerson Jennings. Just a touch inside, pushes it back to that right, and whips one across. A good two-handed punch from Dysart, and ultimately can't put the second chance on frame. But as you know, Louisville coming out with their hair on fire to start this second half, pushing for that equalizer.
Duke did have more shots in the first half, but again, with Jennings on the field, Louisville was at its most dangerous. Duke responding with a long ball of its own, looking for Lynch. Out for a Blue Devil throw. Like Walters has started the second half for Duke as well in place of Oder as Lynch delivers. Punched through the box by Floyd. A little bit of space for Walters there. Great diagonal from Lynch. The offside flag was up, though, so it won't be a corner. It'll be a free kick for Louisville coming out.
And finally, some sustained pressure here from Duke and pinning Louisville back. A good whipped-in ball there from Lynch. Cat Raider coming back to the ball from an offside position. But that's something we didn't see in the first half. Now Duke has put a couple balls over the top, has stretched Louisville a little bit, and is having a little bit of success on their own in wide areas on this near side.
Sexton went into that and was able to win the challenge from Walters. Now she restarts. Jennings almost overran it, and Duke able to play out of, well, started to play out of trouble, but lost it for a throw-in. Louisville looking to switch it here. Farrah Walters tracking back defensively for Duke. Walters, think of her as a center forward most of the time. She's in a wide forward spot now and doing some defensive work as well. Risky pass that Cameron Roller was able to keep moving. Gibson to Jennings. Just kind of sitting back and enjoying some of the intrigue of this one, some of the matchups, because Louisville is really turning the screws against Duke. Jennings is the open player out wide. Slips past two. Final ball didn't have enough on it.
Well, the spacing from Louisville right now is just so good. They're stretching the game in all the right places, getting numbers into the attack, inserting Lizzie Sexton again from that wide back position into what looks like more of a midfielder in possession. They're having their way through possession in just pinging that ball around, and ultimately there's no secret that they're trying to play this one down this right-hand side and let Emerson Jennings go to work and let her run at that Duke back line. She's having so much success with the ball at her feet.
Louisville with the first 3 shots of this half. Jennings is onside. Into the penalty area. Louisville still applying pressure. Sexton's cross blocked. Duke wondering how in the world Jennings stayed onside there. The near side AR, Benjamin Wooten, was confident in his decision. You got a back line of 6 for Duke right now. Brooklyn Lee trying to get forward. This is Cherry, 22. Louisville picking the right passes at the moment. Sexton had 2 targets, and the header by Geigley might have taken a chance away from Swinarski, but it was going to be difficult to bring down in any event.
Well, I think you're right about this one. It's whipped in from Sexton in a really dangerous spot. Geigley doesn't know she's got a player just behind her and can't quite get her head to that. But again, Sexton is in such an advanced position that she's playing like a right midfielder, which is allowing Emerson Jennings to get right up on that top line for Louisville and really cause a lot of havoc in behind Duke.
So Duke made a couple of changes with Lexi Coughlin, a defender who started much of the year when they were in a 3-back, coming on. Jocelyn Travers, Farrah Walters coming off. Avery Oder, the other Blue Devil, to return. Oh, Minestrella is off to the races up the middle. Here goes Mia Minestrella for Duke. Cherry into the tackle and won the ball for Louisville. Maybe a game-saving tackle from Carson Cherry.
Well, Cherry has to get that tackle exactly right, and she does as the last defender. But Duke, for as much pressure as they've taken on, able to hit Louisville in transition and show how dangerous they are in that transition play.
Sexton stepping forward. Daya King stepped hard to her and goes down awkwardly.
That's really good transition play and a good look from Laguerre to spring one in behind. Carson Cherry, though, makes up so much ground, gets just enough of the ball to push that one wide. But if she doesn't get this tackle exactly right, she could be sent up because she's the last defender. She does get it right, and she does potentially save a goal.
The collision between King and Sexton, then to some relief, Daya King is up. Just the way she turned her lower body there, I was really worried. But Patty, this looks like with Coughlin coming on, Duke has changed its shape because, as we've noted throughout, they were getting worked in the four-back, and so they've gone back to the 3-4-2-1 that they began the year with.
Well, that's right. And so they're going to slide Dea King out to play that left center back to see if she can match up a little bit more true one-to-one against the very speedy Emerson Jennings. But as you note, Louisville was having so much success in overloading this near side. Now, with what will look like a five-back when they're on the defensive side of the ball, Duke's going to add another player to that back line, make it really difficult for Louisville to have success in those wide areas.
So Sonacheva will play the left wing back. And Lynch will drop a little bit deeper in the midfield for Duke. Here is Sonacheva. Oh, Laguerre saw a pass I don't even think her teammates saw. Played it one time, and Oder does track the ball down. Awkward delivery off the bar with Floyd beaten, and it stays 1-0. But Louisville living dangerously right now. First shot for Duke since the 36th minute. Jennings wide open on the bottom of the screen. Everyone, you could hear the cries from the stands, how is she on? But she was.
Well, first it's Duke getting in a good spot here deep in the Louisville end. That is for sure a cross that just finds its way on frame and almost finds the second goal. Not sure how much Aaron Floyd knows about it in the end, but this game right now, just back end-to-end stuff, and Emerson Jennings just reaching and snatching at that ball in the end. You noted how wide open she was. The ball came a little bit late, and in the end, just a half chance for Louisville.
Again, Louisville, very good stretches of play in the first half, and then this dominant start to the second forced Kieran Hall to change his system. They'd won 6 straight games, undefeated in October, playing 4 at the back, and Louisville made them switch. Continue to put the pressure on King and the youngsters on the Duke back line. And she has handled most of it so calmly. Bit of a loose touch there, and it resulted in an offside decision against Geigley coming back for the ball. '62nd minute with Duke leading. Avery Oder here. Oh, footwork from Gibson, able to win it. That one too far for Emerson Jennings. A reminder, Tuesday, the ACC Field Hockey quarterfinals start at 10 a.m. Eastern on ACC Network and continue just about all day. Thursday, ACC Women's Soccer Championship doubleheader semifinals from Cary starting at 5:30 on ACC Network. And then while their final is on ESPNU on Sunday, the men's soccer quarterfinals will go all afternoon Sunday the 9th, 2, 4, 6, and 8 for the men's start times in their quarterfinals. ACC Fall Championships well underway. And of course, if it's on the ACC Network, you know it's in the ESPN app as well. With Patty Foss, I'm Jonathan Yardley. 63rd minute here, opening game of our doubleheader. The 5-time defending ACC tournament champion Florida State Seminoles play in the second game against Virginia. But in this one, Louisville is really giving Duke a game, although the Blue Devils have led since the 12th minute on a Devin Lynch goal. Mia Oliaro with the pinpoint delivery, her 10th assist of the season. But Louisville, good in the first half, has come out hot to attack toward goal in the second half as well, with the shot edge now, forcing Duke to change its shape. Can they turn it into a tying goal? Liza Sudam the target that time. Dea King pops it up. And Devin Lynch just slams it forward for Duke. I mean, you said it, Patty. We think of the individual players Duke has in its midfield. We think of the history of the program. To see them get outpossessed like this is pretty shocking.
Well, it's a credit to Louisville because they've put Duke under a tremendous amount of pressure across that back line and really not allowed the Blue Devils to find any sort of rhythm throughout the entire game. But the name of the game in the postseason is bend, don't break, and certainly Duke has done that. Hard to believe that through 65 minutes now, Louisville has really not had a clear-cut chance on goal, with the exception of the one off the crossbar early on in this match. You get the sense, though, that the further this game goes on and the more the legs become a problem, that perhaps Louisville will find chances in behind.
Louisville with a raft of substitutions in their attacking personnel, one at the back as well. It'll be a throw in here. Karina Pete, number 10, one of those into the game. Her twin sister Kylie is in for the first time as well. Throw in bouncing around. Driven and knocked away by Caroline Dysart. Her biggest play of the game. Still Louisville threatening. That's just too far into the corner, but Caroline Dysart, the save of the game for the Blue Devils.
Well, it's a long throw, and for the long throw, it's always the second ball. This one falls, fortunately, to Kylie Pete, right inserted into the game. Her first touches, she does really well with the first touch, and then hits this one right on the money, forcing Dysart into a tremendous save. That's a really, really quality save, not only to make it, but to push that one wide, not allow a second chance on frame.
'66th minute, Duke in the lead, but Louisville hunting for the tying goal. Louisville wondering where the ball is as the clock continues to run. And now the referee, Nick Balser, will stop the clock. It may take a little while to retrieve some in this weather, but you do expect a ball ready in each portion of the field. This throw in. Ends up going the other way. Not for long, however. Duke throw in its own corner. And as we see from the kickoff plan du jour of this time of soccer, Patty, everybody wants to kick the ball out of bounds off the kickoff to try and get a pressing opportunity. This kind of throw in sets that up perfectly.
Well, the whole game has really been a pressing opportunity for Louisville, but this one deep in their own end. So many shirts on both colors in that corner, trying to find a little bit of a turnover. Are Louisville, see if they can continue to pressure that Duke goal.
Mia Oliaro back in for Duke, and will throw in here. So much air under that one. And Louisville will collect near midfield. It's a Louisville team, Patty, that was a fairly anonymous 12th in the ACC last year, 2-5-3. Didn't really threaten to make the postseason How have they done this? Not just tonight, but this team that Karen Ferguson Days has put together, it's dominant much of the year.
Well, they've stayed. They've believed in what Karen Ferguson Days has been trying to build in Louisville, and they have a very veteran squad. So a lot of returners, and really a team that knows their identity and just has had consistency, not only in the lineups, but in the style of play. And they've really taken it to a lot of teams, including Duke here tonight.
They should have done enough to earn an NCAA tournament home game, trying to earn their first ACC tournament win in school history tonight. Out wide, Maddox, the right back, drops it off for Cherry. She had 6 goals last year, most of them off corner kicks, but you may see her get forward later in the game. You can see just how spread out Duke is at the back. Just a little too much on that one. It'll be a goal kick for Caroline Dysart as the subs continue to come.
Into the game for Duke, number 9, Lauren Martino, and 17, Farrah Walters.
Lauren Martino and Farrah Walters in. Devin Lynch, Mia Minestrella out. What's it like, Patty? You're a favorite. You know, how much of a favorite we can debate. You've got a 1-0 lead. Second half, you're kind of holding on and clinging to it. What's it like to be on that? I'm assuming you were mostly on the leading end of that lead at Virginia.
Well, not always, but if you are, and you're taking on a ton of pressure like Duke has really all night, it's not only physically taxing, it's mentally. And there's a lot of time left in this game. So, again, as the physical components and your legs start to get heavy, you have to be locked in mentally, because one slip up and this Louisville team is good enough to make you pay.
Maddox unable to catch up to that one on the slick turf. It'll be another goal kick. Kieran Hall said the NCAA quarterfinal when they lost at Alabama 3 years ago really changed the way they approached some of these games, made them a little bit more practical and more direct at wanting to get forward. And they're on the move here. Oliaro denied by Cherry. And a chance for the freshman Taylor Morris to run. And with 3 at the back, that was easy for Cameron Roller to collect. As you see Laguerre kind of casually wrong-footing 2 Louisville players to help Duke get it forward, but it twists out for a throw-in. A reminder, the college basketball season tips off tomorrow. We have a doubleheader for you right here on ACC Network and in the all-new ESPN app. Number 25, North Carolina hosting Central Arkansas in the first game. Number 11, Louisville hosting South Carolina State in the second. 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And the Nothing But Net crew will have highlights and analysis at 11. What a way to tip off college basketball season. Louisville on the move here. Maddox just couldn't time her run perfectly to stay on side. And so Louisville moved it the other way. A.G. Gibson on it. Into space for Maddox. And the cutback out for a corner. Watch out for Cherry on this one.
That's a really good first-time ball there from A.G. Gibson, just to slip one in behind for Maddox, who has been so wide, stretching the field for Louisville since she's been reinserted into this game. But as you note, in a game in which Louisville struggled to find golden chances, set pieces all the more important. Slick surface, look for this ball whipped in towards that back post.
Second ball cleared away by Avery Oder, and Duke passes that test. Hadley Snyder, a left center back for Louisville. Oh, how about the turn? Lizzie Sexton. Just overhit that one, and Duke lets it run for a goal kick. I was going to say, when is Karen Ferguson days sending the starters back in? Usually the 15-minute mark is what we see, as Phoebe Goldthwait comes on for Duke, first time today. Goldthwait Jr., only her 10th appearance of the season after she came back from injury to start the season. A familiar name to college soccer fans. She has two college soccer playing sisters. This game played in the rain pretty much the whole night. Hasn't affected the outcome, but it's been a challenge for the players on both sides. Temperature in the mid-50s. Dysart with the touch here, 76th minute, gets it away up the middle. Again, Sexton's over on the left now. Second ball is a dangerous one. Thought that hit was going to come first time. Instead, it goes out wide. Maddox tried to go around one. Looked like she got away with a shirt pull, and it will be a Louisville throw.
Well, this one, Maddox just trying to get in behind, and certainly a bit of a pull there from Maddox on Mia Oliaro, but nonetheless, referee doesn't give it. And another long throw here. Look for the second ball. It's not going to be the first chance that they get on frame. This one goes short instead.
Just like you said, Patty.
Exactly.
Emerson Jennings back on for Louisville. Jennings chasing this one, but the goalkeeper, Dysart, first to it. Now coming up after our game, five-time defending tournament champion Florida State with Jordan Dudley. She's electric anytime she touches the ball. Taking on Leah Godfrey and Virginia. Patty, this one should be epic. Their regular season meeting was fantastic.
Well, the regular season meeting was one of the best games of the fall. It was back and forth. Virginia found the first goal, then found an equalizer, only to let Florida State back into the game with a go-ahead goal, 80 seconds to play. The one thing in that game to pay attention, though, is Virginia loves to play through their midfield, but can they slow down the athleticism of Florida State in behind? We've seen it time and again, how dynamic and quick that Florida State front line is. If it's anything like our game here this evening, it's going to be a fantastic second one and one that you won't want to miss.
Coverage of that game will start on the ESPN app. And we'll, of course, get you to Tallahassee after this one finishes. Louisville chasing an equalizer right now has outshot Duke 6-1 in this second half. Sexton with a little, I don't even know what that one's called. A little spin move as she collected
sauce.
it.
We call that one a little sauce.
That was sauce? Okay. Grace Maddox hustling to get the cross in over the top. With a deflection, yes, it's out for a corner kick.
Everything out, guys.
See Avery Oder clutching her shoulder as she runs back to defend this one. Everybody's playing through something right now, 80th minute. Third Louisville corner. Open look, it was Cherry, and it was just over-delivered by maybe a foot.
Well, that's a good ball into that back post, and Cherry just coming in just a step too far forward. Can't quite redirect that one back across goal. But now's the time in the game, if you're Louisville, you have to start throwing some more numbers forward. See if you can be a bit more direct. And you've had so much success in wide areas. When the ball gets into those wide spaces, can you put additional white shirts in the box? See if you can manufacture that equalizer.
Final 10 minutes in Durham. Duke leading on a Devin Lynch goal way back in the 12th minute. But has spent much of the game defending a relentless Louisville pressure. Farrah Walters in on goal and closed down before she could reach the penalty area. And now we're going to come back for the potential injuries behind the play. Second time, though, Duke has seemingly had its front runner in, only to see them caught from behind.
It's a bit of a collision initially here in midfield. Ball squirts out. So you see nothing nefarious there. But again, Carson Cherry with that speed in recovery to not allow a chance on frame. We've seen that now twice in which she's caught the Duke attacker and made a really well-timed tackle.
Hadley Snyder, the player down for Louisville. Both teams will take a breather and get ready for the final 9.5 minutes as Louisville continues to try and cancel out Devin Lynch's goal from the 12th minute, Patty. This was a beauty.
Well, it was a wonderful ball into the box, just searching for Lynch. Lynch makes that run out of midfield, finds her way in behind. Oliaro, pinpoint pass, a good finish with the outside of her right foot. And through now 80 minutes, it stood up as the game's only goal.
Thought at the time it could be first of many, not necessarily one way or the other, but in the game. But that Louisville organization and structure has kept pushing Duke back. Still a 1-0 game here. Again, Florida State, Virginia coming up next on ACC Network. If you're looking for that one, it will start on the app. But we'll, of course, get you there as soon as we're through with the dramatics here. And then Thursday night, the semifinals on ACC Network over in Cary, North Carolina. Number 1 Stanford, number 2 Notre Dame, already with their travel plans for that. And the ACC Women's Soccer Championship game is Sunday, November 9th. That's on ESPNU. And again, Florida State has incredibly, Patty, won the last 5 for a conference with as many powerful programs and great teams and great NCAA tournament results. When it's been the ACC tournament, it doesn't matter whether Florida State is a 7 seed or a 1 seed, they're going to be there at the end.
Well, and they just have dynamic individuals year in and year out, and that's what counts here when we get to November and December. We've talked a lot about the teams here tonight and the next game in Florida State UVA, but it'll be interesting to see if this result stands up, how Duke matches up against a really talented Notre Dame team. And we've talked Notre Dame with the best 1-2 combination in their front line with Annabelle Chukwu and Izzy Engel. Izzy Engel, 17 goals to her name, but an injury late in the year. Will she play? Will she not play? The Irish are a different team if Engel is out of the lineup, so something to watch as the week goes on.
They played a memorable game back in September in Indiana, 3-2 Notre Dame win. But they had to hang on for dear life down the stretch. Devin Lynch and Duke trying to get another crack at the Irish. And again, it was Hadley Snyder who had to come off for Louisville. One of their center backs. And so Ella Bard replaces her, a freshman who's seen starts, is a high-quality freshman they expect to be a starter in years to come. Actually just made her debut with the U.S. under-19 national team as their captain on a two-game international window held during the college season in which 5 college players were called up. Pretty rare, but a cool opportunity for Bard. Does Louisville have the legs left to create some more chances here? Harassing. Unable to win it cleanly, but it does run out for a throw. Now, a reminder, the all-new ACC PM is Monday through Thursday, 6 to 7 Eastern. Special 2-hour football-focused edition Fridays from 5 to 7 with Kelsey Riggs Cuff right here on ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Liza Sudan back in the game for Louisville, wins a corner. They got Carson Cherry an open look on the last one. What can they dial up here? Amelia Swinarski tasked with sending it in, sophomore from Ohio. 82nd minute. Out for another corner. Louisville turning up the pressure. Chaos in the penalty area. Almost fell to Jennings, but it wasn't a clean look. And Duke able to clear. If you're looking for Virginia, Florida State, it'll start over on the ESPN app. And of course, we'll get you there after the conclusion of this one. Clock is running as Louisville disagrees with the official about where they should take this throw in. Jennings inside out to one defender. Got the cross in, but Dea King was in the way for Duke, as she has been so many times tonight. That one overhit a bit to the corner, and Duke will have a second with the clock stopped, though, as more changes are made. Duke is the leading team and is making a sub here. That's why the clock stops, to get Mia Minestrella back in the game. Six minutes, 48 seconds, separating Duke from a semifinal matchup with Notre Dame. And a rematch for one of their 3 losses this season. Louisville trying to find a goal that could give them a chance to get to overtime and get their first ever ACC tournament win. And similarly, get a chance for revenge against the Irish. Jennings is central at the moment. She's played there plenty this year. A.G. Gibson for Louisville. They trust her with the game on the line. That pass, though, is picked off. One back right away. Maddox applying pressure, but couldn't get there in time. Another goal kick. Another chance for Duke to let the clock run. Eight shots for Louisville to Duke's 2 in this second half. 3 saves on the night for Caroline Dysart, including punching away Kylie Pete's effort in the 65th minute. Here's Carson Cherry stepping forward. We haven't seen that much today, and I don't know if it's the change at the back and the change in shape by Duke, Patty, or if it's tired legs and having to chase the game, but the passing lanes don't seem quite as in sync for Louisville right now.
Well, it's probably some combination of the two, and certainly Duke has now bunkered in and is making it really tough to find those pockets of space in and around their own 18-yard box. But if you're Louisville now, 5 minutes to play, you got to sort of throw spaghetti at the wall, get numbers forward, pump balls into the box, and the slick surface, see if you can just manufacture one more chance to try to find that equalizing goal.
That pass took a deflection. Can Dysart get to it? She does, and saves a corner kick for Duke. And now the count is on. Driven from distance and over the top, very hopeful from Jennings.
This is sort of a tweener from Jennings. She picks her head up and elects to try to go on frame, see if she can lob Caroline Dysart. Doesn't really even come close, but it's what you note there, Jonathan. Perhaps some of those legs coming into play here late for Louisville. Jennings is a player who's just been up and back that right-hand side all night long for Karen Ferguson days.
Again, Duke subbed with the lead here, final 5 minutes, so that stopped the clock. But we're running again now. Duke in front from a Devin Lynch goal in the 12th minute, trying to advance to the semifinals to play Notre Dame. Virginia and Florida State coming up next from Tallahassee in the other first-round game today. Looked like it was not raining there, thankfully. Is this too patient, or is this just right?
Well, it's tough because there's so many blue shirts in your screen that are so deep, and so you sort of have to be patient. But at this point, you need white shirts along the back line. You need to put balls into the box, see if you can just get a fortunate bounce and perhaps put something on frame. That's just, quite frankly, not good enough from Louisville.
You can see instructions coming from the bench and just how they want to tweak this to change their pressure, get some numbers higher up. Will Dysart get a yellow before the game is over? I'm leaning toward yes.
No, if you're Dysart, why not? Just take it. See what you can get away with, and then take the yellow. It's a savvy play from the goalkeeper.
Second ball won by Louisville. Jennings has a step on this near side, but too many numbers around Sudan. Louisville wanted the foul. Didn't get it. Under 2 minutes to play. Karina Laguerre knocks it long for Duke. You can see Floyd is out there to get it going the other way. She gave the referee an annoyed wave of the arm, but that was a pretty reasonable restart from Dyson.
She's just doing her job. That would happen on the other side as well if they were leading.
Absolutely. Final minute in Durham. That formation switch of Duke has limited some of Louisville's early game dominance. We're going to get the goalkeeper throw-in. Come on. Oh. Had that on the bingo card, ready to go. Can Louisville get one more chance here? Into the middle of the field. Driven from distance over the top. And time may expire on the Cardinals' ACC tournament adventure. But what a season they are having as they look forward to the NCAAs.
10, 9, 8,
And for Duke, it's not the prettiest of wins, but it is win number 7 in a row, and the Blue Devils on to the ACC semifinals.
Well, it wasn't pretty at times for Duke, but they did the job they came to do, and that's advance in the ACC tournament. It was Ben